Satish, fan Eva. Yeah, good morning, guys. Sorry for the late. Yeah, tell me, after 2 days gap, anyone remembered anything? I think we are learning Spring Boot core. Yes, yes, part of Spring Boot core, we have discussed about profiles, right? I think in profiles, we have seen how to create profiles using properties files. We have seen how to create profiles using YML files. Come on. And how to use a single YML file, all this stuff. Okay, now there's a next discussion, yeah, that is related to profiles only, but little heavy and little confusing discussion focus. There are term called fallback profile. What is there? There's a term called fallback profile. Tell me next one. There's a term called fallback profile. Next, default profile and child profile. There are three terminology and we have to understand one by one. Okay. Yeah. What is our workspace, guys? Where is our workspace? Where is this? And this is our workspace. Okay. This is 710. Bulk injection configuration properties. Info dot properties. Okay. That is not this one. YML, single YML file, all this stuff. Okay. Let's take profiles. Profile. Suppose go to properties file. So far we have given one of the existing profile. Dev, test, UAT, prod. Suppose I have given such a profile which is not there. Suppose I have taken such a profile called staging. Some profile name. Is it available, guys? Not available. Then it looks to collect the entries from application.properties file. If any profile related property file is not there, okay, it looks to collect auto configuration inputs from what? Application.properties file. Is that clear, my dear? Okay. So now let me run this application. Right click, run as a Java application. Say okay. So we are getting error or not there. Why? Because they are not there. And one more thing. See, when it comes to auto configuration input, it looks for in application.property. But is there any profile call staging in on the top of any DAO class? Not there. So what I do is to satisfy that, only to satisfy that, go to DAO, Go to DAO and I will take Oracle DAO along with the prod. I also keep something called what? Staging. I also keep something called what? Staging. That's good. Hmm. I have taken something called what? Staging. Now you run the application, still you will get error. Why? Is there any application-staging.properties file, guys? No. When not there, definitely error comes or not there. When not there, definitely error will come or not there, guys. I want reply from you people. Okay, then where it looks for application.properties. Are we ready with that? No. So what I do is I'll go to uat.properties. Whatever information is there, I'm copying it, pasting it. I'm copying it and what? Pasting it. That's good. Right click, tell me. Run as what? Java application. See these guys? Staging profile is activated. That means it has collected the information from where, guys? Come on. It has collected the information from where, guys? This clerk, manager. What is there? Clerk, manager, salesman. Clerk, manager, salesman. Everyone getting my point, my dear? Come on. Data source, pool data source, IMP. What is there, guys? Oracle.ucp.jdbc. Pool data source, IMPL. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Got the clarity or not there, guys? Employee name. What is there? Rakesh. Designation clerk. Salary. What is there? 89,000. Employee is registered or not there, guys? Okay. Now listen what happened. You have given one profile. That profile related property file is not there. Then it looking to collect same information from where? Application.properties file. Can I say application.property file is what? Fallback profile or not there, guys? It's a default fallback profile or not there, guys? I want reply, my dear. Come on. Everyone getting my point there or not there, guys? Super. Okay, that's good. Spring.dataSource.driver class name. Spring.dataSource.url. Spring.dataSource.username. Spring.dataSource.password. Okay, this is one. But observe carefully. This is same as UAT profile, na guys. Same, almost ditto. Okay. But again, writing same keys and values here is again meaningless, na my dear. Okay, that's why they have got something called, okay, profile include or child profile. We can make application.profile property file as the child profile to one of the existing profile. One of the existing profile. Tell me. Include other profile. Yeah, tell me. Where is this? Spring dot profile dot include. Spring dot profiles dot include. Tell me, what is the one I am taking? UAT. What is there? UAT. Instead of writing same keys and values in application.property, they are already there in one of the existing profile. Just take them and include. Just collect them and what? Include. Is it not interesting, my dear? Come on. Yes. Right click. Tell me. Run as Java. UAT comma staging has come or not there? UAT comma staging. That means actually original is staging, but that is linked with what? UAT. So UAT only will work or not there, guys? Where is this? Clerk, manager. What is there? Salesman. Pool data source IMPL. What IMPL, guys? Pool data source IMPL. I hope you understood my statement or not there, guys. That's good. Pool data source IMPL. Spring dot profiles dot what? Include. This is one more thing. This is child profile or profile include, right? Okay. Okay, now let me open the document and let me read the content. I think you got the clarity. Fallback profile means when given profile is not there, the content that is collected from application dot properties is called fallback profile. If that fallback profile information is matching with what? One of the existing profile, instead of writing same keys and values, you can include what? Other profile by using what? Spring dot profile dot include. What option we can use, guys? Spring dot profiles dot include option. Everyone getting my point, my dear? Yes. Okay, where is the story, guys? Yeah, 710. Here is my 71. Spring Boot core. What is there, guys? Spring Boot core. Session 10. Session 14. While taking application.property file, see, if there is no matching properties file or YML file for the specified active profile, then it takes what? Application.property file as what? Default fallback profile file. Child profile or profile include. While taking application.property file as what? Fallback properties file having fallback profile information. Instead of writing repeated keys and values in application.properties, which are already there in other profile specific word properties file, we can include that profile name in application.property as shown below. This concept is applicable even using what? YML. Okay. See these guys? Active profile staging, not there. What I'm doing, I'm including prod profile or not there, guys. Your application.property default property file become child profile to whom, guys? The specified parent profile prod. Okay. This inclusion makes application.property related fallback profile as a child profile for what? Prod profile. We don't have application staging.property file. So it will take what? Application.properties as what? Fallback file. But in that file, we are not having what? Keys and values directly. Rather, we are getting what? By including another profile. Another profile prod is there. See guys, these many are there. Same as previous application, these are. We can include other profiles info to what? Application.properties or YML. That means not possible in what? Profile specific property file or what? YML file. Like application UAT dot properties are what? YML. Application prod dot properties are what? YML. Everyone getting my point, my dear? Come on. Super. Application dev dot properties, application test dot properties, application UAT dot properties, application what? Prod dot properties. What is the meaning of @profile default? What is what? Default profile. If no active profile is specified, then all the beans of what? Default profile will be instantiated and used. It is recommended to have complete setup of what? All Spring Bean to execute in what? Default profile. When no active profile is specified or no child profile is specified. See, this is when you mention wrong profile, which is not there, first fallback, then child. Suppose you have not activated any profile, then also application should run now, boss. Suppose programmer has not chosen any profile, then also one or other default profile should be there or not there. Say something, guys. So, for example, right now, what is the problem? I have not kept this. I commented this no active profile. Hmm. Here also no active profile. Everywhere no active profile. That's good. Right click. Tell me. Run as Java application. We're getting exception now, boss. Someone is not aware of what is profile, activating profile is not aware. But still also application should run with some default setup or not there. Application should run with what? Default setup or not there, guys. Okay. Okay, we should always mentally ready for that setup, guys. Suppose if no active profile is mentioned, no profile is mentioned, I want to see application running with what? MySQL. Application running with what? MySQL. Then what should I do? Go to MySQL EMP IMPL, guys. Yes, here you write default. It should be ready for a default profile. When no active profile is there, it should be ready. Okay. This is Spring Beans wise. This is what? Spring Beans wise. But we have to worry about what? We have to worry about doing the same. We have to worry about doing the same for what, guys? Okay. In application.properties. In application.properties. 1 minute. Some MySQL related information we have to put now, guys. Copy this. Application.properties. Say paste. Yeah, now have a look on it. Right click, run as Java application. Yeah, tell me, no active profile, but still it works for MySQL. Clerk, manager, X. Yeah, see, still it is working for Hikari data source or not there because default data source and talking to MySQL database are not there. That means we are ready with the default profile or not there, guys. There are two things. When you mention wrong profile, fallback profile. If you feel fallback profile of application.properties, keys are repeating already there in one more profile, you can include that profile, that is child profile. When you have not activated any profile, come on, still application should run with one or other default setup. Okay, for that one, we can make Spring Beans having profile default. Come on. And when it comes to properties file, it looks for all the entries in what? Application.properties. Okay, see, generally we activate proper profile, we write anything. But these are for interview sake, guys. Suppose I have not given correct profile, then what happens? I have not activated any profile, then what happens? You will say error will come. I don't want to get error, it should run with some default setup. Then we should know about default profile concept. Got it now, boss? Yes. What is the meaning of profile default? What is a default profile? Okay. Tell me. If no active profile is specified, then all the beans of what? Default profile will be instantiated and what? Used. It is recommended to have complete set of what? All Spring Beans to execute default profile. That means when no active profile is specified or no child profile is specified. Are you getting my point, my dear? Come on. If no active profile is specified, then what? Spring Beans not having @ profile and having @ profile default will be instantiated what? Automatically. And info will be collected only from what? Application.properties or what? YML file. Info will be collected only from what? Application.properties or YML file. We can make certain Spring Beans working for what? Specific profile. Also for what? Default profile as shown below. @ profile, dev test default. Public class, MySQL employee DAO IMPL implements what? iEmployee DAO. To make application running without active profile, we just need to comment. This one we have to comment. Default is not profile name. It is the environment or setup of what? Springboard that executes when no active profiles are specified. When no active profiles are specified. Default is not profile name when no active profiles are specified. How to see no active profiles are there? Hash symbol. What symbol, guys? Hash symbol. What is the difference between fallback profile, default profile, child profile? Fallback profile. The profile that executes when requested active profile is not there. If spring.profiles.active key specified with what? Wrong or what? Unavailable profile name. Wrong or what? Unavailable profile name. Default profile. The profile that executes when there is no active profile in application. If spring.profiles.active key is commented, that means that is not there. Child profile or what? Profile include. The profile that is included in what? Application.property by specifying what? By specifying profile name to reuse keys and values of specific profile in application.properties indirectly as what? Fallback profile. Indirectly as what? Fallback profile. Everyone getting my point, my dear? Super. If spring.profiles.include is used in application.property file or what? YML file. Super. Okay, tell me next one. Can we keep multiple Spring Beans of what? Same category or type in default profile? No, not possible. Conflicts or ambiguity problem may arise or not there, guys. Conflicts or what? Ambiguity problem may arise or not there, guys. Springboard gives. Can we keep multiple Spring Beans of same category? Are both TAOs in the same profile or default profile? Definitely error na boss. On Oracle DAO, profile default. On MySQL DAO, profile default. Definitely are going to get the error or not there. Okay. What is the difference between not adding profile for the Spring Bean, adding profile default for the Spring Bean? Tell me, is there any difference or there is no difference, guys? Not adding profile means when profile is active, inactive. Okay, when you give wrong profile, right profile, the Spring Bean will be instantiated or not there. When you don't add any profile like controller and service class. Are we adding any profile annotation on the top of controller and service, guys? Next one is what, guys? @ profile default. What is there? @ profile default. Okay, if profile is not added for Spring Bean, that will work for what? All profile. When profile is active. when profile is activated. It will even work if no profile is activated. Also for what? Child profile that is activated. Example, service controller classes. What classes, guys? Controller classes. Tell me. At the rate profile default based Spring Bean will work only when active profiles are not specified. Okay. At the rate profile default based Spring Bean will work only when what? Active profiles are not specified. If spring.profiles include spring.profiles.active keys in application.property file is what? Missing. Okay. Profile default comes into picture when there is no active profile. No active profile, then only it will. But what is that? Not adding at the rate profile means that Spring Bean is ready for when you activate profile, when you don't activate profile, when you give wrong profile, right profile, that Spring Bean will be instantiated or not there. Are a service and controller, no at the rate profile. They're always instantiated now, my dear. But default profile comes into picture when you don't mention any active profile. Super. In real projects, we keep data source classes, DAO classes in specific profile or in what? Default profile, because persistence logic changes database software to database software, because SQL queries are what? Database software dependent. What dependent, guys? SQL queries are database software dependent. In real projects, we don't keep controller service classes in any profile because they are common for what? All profile, not dependent to any database software. Not dependent to database software. Conclusion on what? Profiles. Conclusion on the profiles. In real projects, we don't keep controller service classes in any profile because they are common for what? All profiles, not dependent on what? Database software, not dependent to any database software. Are you comfortable, my dear? Come on, everyone. Got the clarity or not there, guys? Super. Yeah. 15. Where is 15, guys? Acha, 14 extension is nothing but 15, it seems. Yeah, actually it should be 15, guys. Yeah, we'll change it. The last topic of Spring Boot core module, guys, that is what? Runners. Yeah. See, guys, so far we are writing client application logic in main method of main class. We are accessing the container. We are calling ctx.getBean method. All this stuff. Why? Because main method is one-time execution block. We don't call. JVM calls automatically how many times? One time. In one application execution, one time it will be called, right? Super. But problem there is we have to access the container. If sometimes we have to create the container. And you have to entertain dependency lookup a lot by calling ctx.getBean method. But everywhere else, I'm enjoying dependency injection. Only in the client application, main class, I'm forced to go for what? Dependency lookup, ctx.getBean. I don't want. I don't want to enjoy dependency lookup. I want to change everywhere dependency injection. For that, I need a Spring Bean whose method executes automatically only for one time. Got it or not there? What is the specialty of the main method? We don't call main method. JVM calls main method only for one time in the entire application execution, right? If such a method is there in a Spring Bean, which executes automatically, that to Spring Bean, then I can happily inject controller class object to what? That Spring Bean or not there. What is that special Spring Bean, sir? That special Spring Bean is nothing but what? Runner. That special Spring Bean is nothing but what? Runner class. Convinced or not, my dear? That special Spring Bean is nothing but what, guys? A runner. Got the clarity or not there, boss? Come on. Yeah. Sir, but how does it become special Spring Bean, sir? At the rate component makes any class as Spring Bean, that's fine. But how does it make special Spring Bean whose method executes automatically? You have to make that Spring Bean implementing what? Command line runner interface. What interface, guys? Command line runner interface. What interface, guys? Command line runner interface. Everyone getting my point, my dear? Convinced with me, guys? Come on. A good programmer of Spring Boot application does not keep any user-defined code in main method of main class. Rather, he prefers placing testing code or method invocation in what? Runner class. A good programmer just places Spring application dot run method call in main method of what? SBA class. All the logics of client application or testing the application will be placed in what? A run method of the runner class. The method that is called by underlying server or container or JVM automatically for certain event is called what? Callback method. Servlet lifecycle method, Spring Boot runner class run method, all this stuff. Are very simple, boss. You have to take a Spring Bean, make that class implementing command line runner or application runner interface. Both the interfaces are having one method called run method. Inside the run method, you keep the logics. But we don't call this run method. Automatically, that will be called by IOC container. So that means whatever logics you are keeping in main method, now onwards, you can move them to what? Runner class, run method or not there. Okay. Runner is a Spring Bean or Spring Boot application that contains what? One-time execution logic units what? Run method. We don't call run method of runner class manually. It will be called by Spring Boot automatically as part of what? Application startup process. That is started by whom? Spring application dot run method. Right after what? Pre-instantiation of singleton scope Spring Bean and completing what? Necessary dependency injection. Completing what? The necessary dependency injection. Spring Boot application recognizes the Spring Bean class as what? Runner class by seeing what? Triplex runner interface implementation. Two types of runners. One is what? Command line runner. Other one is what? Application runner. One is what? Command line runner. Other one is what? Application runner. Spring Bean class implementing what? Command line runner interface. Spring Bean class implementing what? Application runner interface. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Super. Okay, first I'll show its purpose, guys. Then we'll come to remaining things. Okay, you take any mini project, my dear. Okay, take this mini project only. What is there in there? What is the number, guys? 16. Mini project. Here I am taking what? Runners. Oh, 16 is missing. Let me put 16 runners. Okay. Mini project runners, boss. Tell me. I'm taking separate package called new package com.nt.runners. com.nt.runners. That's good. Right click new. What is there? Class. Right click new class. Tell me. Mini project test runner. Something. How does it becomes runner, guys? We're implementing command line runner interface. What interface, guys? Command line runner interface. At the rate component. What is there, guys? At the rate component. Mini project test runner. Where is this, guys? Private. Employee operations controller. Employee operations controller. That's good. At the rate auto wide. Okay. Now what I do, ultimately we need controller class object. Fine. Now you go to main method, guys. You go to main method. Here I just keep this. Spring application dot run. That's good. Here is my cut this. Cut this. Come to runner. Paste it. No container is required. Why? Only scanner is required. But only scanner I have to keep in try catch block. Okay. Scanner SC is equal to new scanner of system.in. Okay. That's good. Catch. Where is this? Exception E. E dot print stack trace. Control plus shift plus O. Control plus shift plus O. What is there? Use the scanner. And simply saying what, guys? Use the scanner. So we are working with the scanner story over there or not there, guys? Super. That's great, fantastic. Mini project test runner, guys. Okay, here all this stuff is not required. See, this is the default code. When you create a Spring Boot starter project, this is the default code that comes, guys. And you just continue the default code. Don't write anything extra, anything less. Okay, these yellow marks means unused import statement. These are what? Unused import statement. Mini project test runner. This is there. Okay. Yeah, the CTX not required because this is already injected now, boss. Yes. It is already injected or not there, guys. Okay. Fine. Look at this. I just moved entire main method code to this. And the main method is going to be single line statement. Just a Spring application dot run method, right? Okay. Okay, now let me give the feeling. Let me give the feeling. It's a Spring Bean. It will be instantiated automatically. Systrace. Zero param constructor. Zero param constructor. Systrace. Right click, run as what? Java application. Clerk, manager. What is there? Salesman. Clerk, manager, salesman. Employees belonging to clerk, manager, salesman. Employee name, what is there? Current. Designation clerk. Salary 89,000. This is employee registered or not there, guys? Definitely employee registered here or not there? Convinced, my dear? Come on. Are you comfortable, my dear, or not there? Two types of runners. Command line runner, other one is what? Application runner. One is command line runner, other one is what? Application. A good programmer of Spring Boot application does not keep any user-defined code in main method of main class. Rather, he prefers what? Placing testing code or method invocation code in what? Runner class. A good programmer just keeps what? Spring application dot run method call in main method of SBA class. All the logics of client application or testing application will be placed in the run method of what? Runner class. The method that is called by underlying server or container or JVM automatically for certain event is called what? Callback method. Example, servlet component lifecycle method, Spring Boot runners run method, all this thing. Are we going to call them manually, guys? No. Just now we have seen now, boss. Are we calling those methods manually? The logics are executed automatically or not there, guys? Super. Total, how many types of runners are there? Two. Command line runner, application. Mostly used runner is command line runner. Why we will discuss later. What is the difference between placing static block in Spring Bean class and working with what? Runner class? Array, static block of any Spring Bean is also one-time executing block. Runner class run method also one-time executing block. So why are you entertaining runner class? You keep the same logics in what? Static block. There are problems with the static block. In static block, can I use non-static variables? In static block, can I propagate the exception. Can I write propagate the exception? No, I have to must and should catch and handle the exception. Come on. And static block is class level one time executing logic or application level one time execute. That is what? Class level one time executing logic. Everyone getting my point, my dear, or not there, guys? What is the difference between placing static block in Spring Bean class and working with what? Runner class. Static block of Spring Bean class, runner class of Spring Boot application. It is Java feature can be used in both what? Spring and Spring Boot application. It is a feature of Spring Boot can be used only in what? Can be used only in what? Spring Boot application. Executes automatically when the IOC container loads the Spring Boot class. Executes automatically as part of what? Spring Boot application startup activity performed by what? Spring application dot run method. Mostly after pre-instantiations and what? Injections. Mostly after pre-instantiations and what? Injections. Does not allow to pass data or arguments from outside. From static block, can we pass, guys? No. Allows to pass data or run method. Command line arguments can be passed or not there. Run method seeing ARGS is there or not there, guys. Have a look. Run method is having C here. They are nothing but command line arguments, boss. They are nothing but what? Command line argument. Non-static data cannot be accessed in what? Static block. Allows us to access both static and what? Non-static data. Useful to place class level one-time executing logics. Useful to place Spring Boot application level what? One-time executing logic. Executing the DB script during what? Application startup to create it. To create DB tables in database software, the client application logics. Static block does not support what? Exception propagation. Run method of runner class supports what? Exception propagation. We can pass the exception from one layer to another layer or not there. If we place multiple runner classes, if we place multiple runner classes, then the logics of all runner class executes only for one time during application startup process. In one Spring Boot application or project, we can place what? 0 or more runner classes. Application runner interface is having run method or not there, guys. But this run method argument is not string array. It is application arguments object. Come on. And the application arguments object is a class, and in that class these many methods are there or not there. Other side we have command line runner na boss. Another interface we have is what? Command line runner. In that one run method ARGS is there or not there, guys. Command line arguments will come directly. No categorization for what? Command line argument. No categorization for what? Command line argument. Okay. Now we'll take both command runners and we'll try to see the difference between what? Application runner, command line runner. Both get command line arguments as parameter. But the way they categorize command line argument is possible more and more with what? Application runner. Not possible with what? Command line runner. Both takes command line arguments as the argument of the run method. But command line runner gets in the form of string array. Application runner gets in the form of what? Application arguments object. What object, guys? Application arguments object. Everyone getting my point there or not there, guys? Super. Yeah. New, where is this? Spring Starter project, guys. What project, guys? Spring Starter project. Where is that? 13. Seventeen runners. Say next. Okay, no run, nothing, guys. Basic default setup is enough. Default setup is enough. Runners, guys. New, what is their package? com.nt.runners. com.nt.what runners. Right click, guys, new, what is there? Right click new class. My test runner one. My test runner one. Here is what? Command line runner. Command line runner. At the rate component. At the rate component. System.out.println. Command line arguments. Arrays.toString args. Command line arguments. Arrays.toString args. Yeah, definitely arrays.toString args. That's great, guys. Close all editors. This is my command line runner, guys. My test runner one. At the rate component, public class, my test runner one implements what? Command line runner. Here is what? Run method. Command line arguments, command line runner, arrays dot toString of what? Args. Arrays dot toString of what? Args. Everyone getting my point, my dear guys? Come on. That's good. Okay, now you run this application, guys. Run as Java application. Right now, no command line arguments, empty one is coming. Okay, that's good. Now you go to this place, run configurations, arguments tab. What tab, guys? Run configurations, arguments tab. Okay, 101 Raja. Command line argument. This is args0, this is args1. But these are called non-option argument, no name for them. Hyphen address is equal to Hyderabad. These are called optional arguments. Command line arguments only optional. They have a key. Hyphen is part of the syntax, guys. Okay. Hyphen address, not only address, guys, qualification. Hyphen qualification B. Arrow apply, arrow run. See, all are coming as equal, na boss? 101 Raja. Both option and non-option arguments are coming equally or not there, guys? Okay. Super. System dot out dot println. This. File save as my test runner 2. File save as my test runner 2. Oh, okay. My test runner 2 implements what, guys? Command line runner. Okay, that's good. Here is what? Application arguments. ARGS. Application arguments ARGS. Okay, now I am taking this one as what? Application runner. Okay, that's good. Yeah, command line arguments. Here is what? Application. What is there, guys? Application runner. Command line arguments. Application runner, guys. Come on. System dot out dot println. Command line arguments. What is there? Application runner. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. System dot out dot println. Yeah, tell me. First, non-option argument. That means no keys, only values are there. Yeah, get non-option args. Non-option args. Tell me. List. Yeah, that object is having certain method, guys. ARGS dot non-option args. List string list is equal to list string list is equal to ARGS dot get non-option args. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Yes. Get non-option args. That means the one without keys, guys. System dot out dot println non-option args list. Okay. Next one. Get option args. What is there, guys? Get option args. Yeah. Set string. Set string. Option arg names. Only names will come. Only names will come. Args dot get option names. Yeah, this is the only difference, guys. We can differentiate. Set string option arg names. Okay, that's fine. Option arg names dot for each name arrow. Option arg names dot for each name arrow. Tell me. System dot out dot println. What dot println, guys? System dot out dot println. Come on. System dot out dot println. Yeah. First you have to print the name. You have to print the name plus tell me. Okay. Args dot get option values of name. Get option values of name. Okay. So here what I want to do is system dot out dot println option args are args names and values are names and values are okay, that's good. Option args names and values are okay. Right click, guys, run as run configurations, arguments tab. Here we have both option and non-option args. Wantedly I'll take certain option arg twice. ADDRS is equal to YZAC. Arrow apply, arrow run. Command line arguments, application runner. Non-option args are 101 Raja. Option arg names and values are address Hyderabad, Vizag. Qualification B. Qualification B. Understanding my statement or not there? Non-option args 101 Raja. Option argument names and values are address Hyderabad and Vizag. Qualification is what? B. Command line arguments 101 Raja, address Hyderabad, address Vizag, qualification B. Here no differentiate, guys, all are treated same. But when it comes to this point, we're able to differentiate option arguments and non-option arguments now, my dear, because they are not stored in string array. They are stored in what? Application arguments object, where we have methods to differentiate option arguments and non-option arguments very effectively are not there. Where we have methods to differentiate what? Option arguments and non-option arguments effectively are not there, guys. Yeah. Command line arguments will come directly. No categorization for what? Command line argument. That means we get all args and non-option arguments, only no provision to categorize them. Here, no provision to categorize them. Everything will come together or not there. But in application arguments object, we can categorize them or not there, guys. Like option arguments with name value, non-option arguments only value. Check it out. All are command line arguments only, guys. 101 non-option argument, hyphen name Raja, hyphen address Hyderabad. One side optional arguments, other side what? Non-optional arguments. That's good. What's the difference between command line runner and what? Application runner. Both are one-time execution. Classes are Spring Beans having a run method. But the way they get command line arguments to the run method is different. Command line runner gets what? The given command line arguments in the form of what? String array. Whereas application runner gets what? Given command line arguments in the form of what? Application arguments object. Where we can categorize command line arguments into what? Optional, non-optional arguments. In the command line, we cannot differentiate optional args and non-optional args. Whereas what? In application runner, we can differentiate what? Both optional args and what? Non-optional args. Run as run configuration. Here is what? Argument stack. Non-optional argument this. Name Raja. Option argument 1, optional argument 2. Here is my output are not there, guys. ARGS 0, ARGS 1, ARGS 2. We are able to differentiate them or not there, guys. Super. Yeah. Once again, check it out here. What is there? Both are one-time executing classes. Command line runner, command line array. This gives operand object where we can categorize command line arguments into what? Optional and what? Non-optional. In command line, we cannot differentiate what? In command line runner, 1 minute. In command line runner. We cannot differentiate option args and non-option args. Whereas in application runner, we can differentiate what? Both optional args and what? Non-optional args. Yes, there is a possibility of differentiating them or not there, guys. Okay. I have a question. I have two runners, but I want to execute only one runner, but I don't want to remove the class. I want to do small change, but class should not, runner class should not execute. Don't say comment whole class. Don't say comment whole class. No, I'm asking simple question. Two runners are there. I want to execute only one runner with a small change. Not doing all the changes with only with a small change. Very simple, boss. They're automatically instantiated because they are Spring Beans. If you can make anyone as what? Non-Spring Bean. Do you think it will be instantiated automatically? No. Run as a Java application. Only one runner is executed now, boss. If it is not Spring Bean, it is not instantiated. If it is not instantiated, no question of calling run method because run is a non-static method. To call that method, first of all, Spring Bean object is required or not? Fine. Yeah, few more discussions are there with respect to runner, guys. We will discuss them. Okay. Okay. Once that is over, tomorrow onwards, we'll be having sessions on Spring Boot data JPA. That means we are entering into database operation, CORD operations on database software. Right? Okay. Now, this runners discussion plus few FAQs I prepared covering all the topics once again. So FAQs are one-liners, whatever it is. Then we will move to Spring Boot Data JPA, where we talk about what? Database operation. Those are having JDBC knowledge, please revise and come. JDBC is not a great prerequisite, but basics of JDBC knowledge is required. Definitely basics of JDBC knowledge is required, no doubt. Yeah, that's great. Tell me, Google Drive, what's your batch code, guys? 2201, huh? This one, yeah. Spring Boot Core. Spring Boot Core. I think 14 extension I have not uploaded. Okay, uploaded. Move to trash, make it as a 15. File upload. Yeah, tell me. 710. Spring Boot Core. Yeah, tell me next one. 15, 16. Thank you guys. Have a nice time. We'll meet tomorrow and we'll talk.